Today on Teuty's track analysis, we have the track of the day for March 24th, Slick Circuit by SparklingW. Slick Circuit is an ice track that also contains the surfaces, road, and plastic. The track does have two finishes, with the risky finish needing approximately 150 minimum speed to reach. The risky finish will also save you nearly 1 second over the safe finish. The track does contain a cut, which I feel can save you up to 1.5 seconds. I thought the difficulty of the track was a little bit challenging and would rate it a 6.5 out of 10. I completed the track with a time of 40.501. This is 3.5 seconds ahead of the gold medal time and 0.3 of a second ahead of the author medal time. For various reasons, I thought the track was just okay and would give it a plus rating. So a bit of unusual circumstances today with the track having a cut. So we're going to start out going over the non-cut version and then switching over to the cut version afterwards. At the very start, obviously, you want to make your way towards the right-hand side and be pretty much as far to the right as possible to get as much downhill here as possible without getting any airtime. And since we don't have a good world record comparison goes for this, I just can kind of tell you what I did here, and I thought the best plan of action was to be as wide as possible to start this ice slide. Once you get into the ice slide, I found brake tapping extremely early here to be very effective as it gets you around this upcoming corner very tightly. To exit the ice slide, I'm not sure if it's necessary or not to release the gas. However, I did, but you do want to make sure on the exit you are going as straight as possible. Any little bit of turning once you get off the ice will result in you just sliding out with the icy tires. And then here, just moving a little bit forward to show you when I started turning. This is a lot of a feel thing to know when you can get that grip and start your turn. And back to the regular analysis here, we have the current world record ghost driven by Kuzi. They had a time of 38.458, and this is 2.043 ahead of my personal best. At the very start here, I would recommend using camera 2 to do this cut, so just be in that camera 2 at the very start. You can switch right back out of camera 2 back into camera 1 for the ice once you are done doing this cut. At the very start, we have the same exact thing here going towards the right-hand side to get down this ramp. However, we are going to try to skip through this fence here. This can be very tricky to get correctly, really through no fault of your own. A lot of RNG here, as you will definitely hit this bar and it can send you in any direction really. So it's kind of just brute forcing your way through here until you get a correct line. Then we'll see here, you want to drive onto this blue piece and onto the road in which we left off the other non-cut version. Depending on how well you can get through that bar and keep speed, I feel this can save you in upwards of 1.5 seconds, possibly even more. For the ice slide coming up here, you want to remain on a pretty tight inside line throughout the entire thing until you're making your way towards the exit, which you want to end up wide. At the end of this section, and if not most or all sections on this track, the ice slides end in this plastic, so you do not usually have to release to straighten out, as the plastic will help you spin straight. For the upcoming jump, ideally you want to get as much of this downslope as possible to get that little extra speed. Moving up for the upcoming ice slide here, you want to approach wide. For this ice slide as well, I always release gas here before I got into it, as I found like 90% of the time if I went into this full speed, I would end up losing a gear during this ice slide and sliding out. There's not a lot of room for error on this ice slide without that release, as it is a pretty tight turn. You can either end up not getting tight enough, bonking the back wall, or you will end up, like I said, gearing out here. Continuing on this ice slide, we'll see that the world record is able to get a more straight down approach here while I end up going wide to the right. This doesn't look like a huge deal at first, but it will be apparent here once we get into our next ice slides what difference this will make. Also, for the exit here, you can just keep on doing whatever ice slide you were doing. Your car will straighten out and you will spin the other direction to continue the next ice slide. And we'll briefly switch over to the world record ghost here as we lose track of the ghost. While in my camera view, we'll see that they'll get a nice smooth slide throughout this entire thing. While me going on an inside line, I had to brake tap a couple of times to tighten the slide, and this will cause me to fall behind. And switching back to my camera view here, we'll see that you want to be somewhere towards the right side of this so you don't get any airtime on the exit. For the next jump, I found the setup a little annoying as it's extremely easy to bonk in a lot of places here, including this wall to our right side. Moving up a little bit, you can also bonk the wall to the left side here. And then once you're done with the jump, if you are wide, you can easily bonk the right side wall. So yeah, there is a lot of things here at the very end. If your turn is slightly off, that can completely ruin your run at the very end of the track. This final ice turn can be a bit challenging as well. You can start this turn tight, however you need to be wide on the exit or you will very easily miss the finish. Really, you have one kind of opportunities to set up this turn. There is not a lot of adjustment you can do to try to make this finish. If you do feel like you are going to be a bit low, you can try releasing the gas to straighten out the car and try to jump straight into the finish, though this was not super reliable for me. So a bit of a unique circumstance today with a track that had a cut in it. I believe this is the first analysis I have done with a track that has had a cut. Overall, again, I thought the track was kind of just okay. A couple of frustrating sections with some easy gear outs, as well as the part at the end, which I wasn't too fond of. But it still was an okay track, in my opinion. Kind of lucky the track also had a cut in it as well, for me at least, as I would have come nowhere close to getting the author time on this one. I hope you enjoyed today's analysis though. If you did, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Check the description for links to my Twitch and Discord, and be sure to check out all the other track analysis videos out on the channel already. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday for the next one.